So one tiny little video here wanting to mention that just like humans, AI models, these large language models and other AI models can have and do have biases of their own. So it's really important just to understand that this is a thing, and that way you can look for it, or at the very least consider whether a response that you're getting might be disproportionately influenced by some bias based on training data or the algorithm design or the human input. Some of the common types of AI biases are a representation bias, when the AI doesn't really reflect real-world diversity accurately. This is seen a lot with image generation. Selection bias is when the training data isn't diverse enough, which leads to an overrepresentation of certain groups and, more importantly, an underrepresentation of other groups. And then, of course, confirmation bias is when AI favors information that comes from pre-existing us. And the reason why this matters is that recognizing these AI biases will help towards ethical and inclusive AI. It can also help us see our own biases more clearly, which improves our decision-making and self-awareness. Some examples of these biases that I have come to see and recognize and build strategies for navigating are some of these guardrails that are built into these AI models, these large language models. These guardrails are in there to help provide balanced information and handle sensitive topics carefully. This can come in the form of pre-scripted responses or monitoring, or giving a more generic or less useful, less direct response because it touches on a topic that it has been trained to be very cautious with. So it's really important to have clear information about how AI processes data and makes its decisions. So having some transparency, some clear information about how AI processes data and makes decisions is really useful in terms of the use cases you might want to use that AI model for. I put a little activity here on reflecting on AI and personal biases. You can ask ChatGPT about its own biases. For example, what biases might you have when answering questions? You can also think about how these AI biases are similar to your own. Like, in what ways do human decision-making processes show similar biases to AI language model processes when they are responding to a user prompt? If in your exploration of this topic you find something that's really interesting, I hope you'll bring it back to the community, post a thread in the member hub, and let's get into it. Let's help each other learn more about this thing so that we can use it more effectively for our own personal transformation and help to shape ethical and inclusive AI. And then just below that, I put a short article on helping you better understand AI biases and 2 practical exercises that you can do with ChatGPT. There's an example of a societal inquiry use case and an example of a self-inquiry use case that you can try in your own time. Thanks.